After being sold into slavery by his brothers, Joseph ends up in Egypt, serving as a slave in the household of Potiphar, an official of Pharaoh. But even in this dire situation, Joseph's character shines through. He proves to be diligent, trustworthy, and skilled. Potiphar notices Joseph's exceptional abilities and, recognizing his integrity, promotes him to oversee all of his household affairs. However, Joseph's rise in Potiphar's household is put to the test when Potiphar's wife makes an unsolicited advance toward him. She repeatedly attempts to seduce Joseph, but he resists every time. One day, when none of the household servants were around, Potiphar's wife tried to force Joseph into bed. Joseph, demonstrating incredible self-control, runs away, leaving his robe behind. But Potiphar's wife, feeling scorned, uses his robe as false evidence to accuse Joseph of trying to assault her. Genesis 39 gives us insight into the society of ancient Egypt. Potiphar's wife, while holding significant social status as the wife of a high-ranking official, still faces the constraints of a patriarchal culture. While she has some authority within her household, her social standing doesn't free her from acting within the norms of Egyptian society. Her actions, though, reveal the abuse of power, using her influence to falsely accuse Joseph when her advances are rejected. Despite being falsely accused and thrown into prison, Joseph doesn't abandon his faith or his sense of integrity. Instead, we see that God's providence continues to work in his life. Even though his circumstances look bleak, Joseph's unwavering faith in God sustains him. Joseph's character in prison doesn't change. He remains steadfast. His reputation as a man of integrity, even in difficult circumstances, leads to him gaining favor with the prison warden, who puts him in charge of overseeing other prisoners. Joseph's story illustrates that God rewards righteousness, even when others fail to see it. God's sovereignty and faithfulness are clear as Joseph rises to positions of responsibility, even in the midst of his suffering. The narrative touches on slavery in ancient Egypt. Joseph's role as a slave and later as an overseer in Potiphar's house highlights the hierarchical structure of Egyptian society, where slaves served as domestic workers, laborers, and soldiers. Joseph's rise in status within such a rigid system demonstrates the ways in which individual abilities and God's favor can overcome societal limitations.